Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Social Living Podcast. I'm your host, Julian Green, and I have my co-host, Jamal Lawrence. Man,
Yo, yo.
it's Wednesday. How we doing?
Back again for another episode. Yeah, good man. It's a busy week. Black Friday on in 2 days, less than 2 days now. So yeah, just preparing for that. Hectic week, but another
Mm,
hectic week the week next week as well. So yeah, I'm just kind of this is the calm before the storm at the moment.
yeah,
But
trust
yeah,
me.
just taking it all in my stride.
Yeah, trust me, man. That's good. That's good. It's good that you're busy. Obviously, you're working for a bigger conglomerate, so I wouldn't expect anything else. Um, this time is probably one of the biggest, well, one of the busiest times of the year. For
It's
most businesses, this is Q4. This is showtime.
hmm
This is showtime for everybody, and yeah, it's quite fitting for the episode as well. This episode is, do you know the history of Black Friday? And many people don't. You'd be surprised. Especially when it comes to UK Black Friday history as well. Not many people understand it. So yeah, it's very interesting. It's gonna be a very
hmm
interesting episode.
No, definitely for sure. How are you anyway, Jules? I've not
Yeah.
asked.
You know what? I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a hectic week for me. I haven't worked this week. That's how hectic it has been. Um, on a personal level, I had a lot going on in terms of christenings, weddings, stag do's, being best man. So big shout out to my business partner who got married yesterday. Yeah, man, it's been a hectic week, so I haven't been working as such. Just kind of been looking at things from afar and making sure there's no fires or anything like that. But yeah, man,
Mm.
it's good. Everything's good on my side. I've stayed off the gram. Um, like I got phone calls today about football. I totally forgot about football. Like you're zoned in.
Mm.
I forgot about football, forgot about this and that. So yeah, man, we got a question already. I don't know if you wanna do we wanna open this?
Let's start it off well. Let's play it.
All right, cool. Let me open this.
Shalom, brothers. Most High in Christ bless to y'all this afternoon. Hey, let me ask you, man. What do I win? What do I win if I answer the question right? Huh? What's on the block for the prizes? Uh, I'm just kidding. Look here. Let me see. Do you know the history of Black Friday? Black Friday, I believe, was when they sold Negroes for half off that weekend, that Friday. They came up with the sale prices of them in order to get better deals. But I can't remember the occasion that actually first started it. But I think that's what it was when they sold Negroes at a discount price, right? Or wrong? Let me know.
Big
Straight
shout out to
into it.
Pride. Straight into it, and I love it. Big shout out to the Pride of Judah for answering that question in that way. And we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it, and we're gonna start off there. I think. I literally just done some research on this. So Black Friday, as our listener just mentioned, they believe it started off where slave owners used to sell slaves for half the price on a specific Friday, leading up, I guess, towards Christmas. Um, you know what? I've done as much research as I can, and there are many sources that say this is the truth. However, looking on different sources, if we use examples such as the Washington Post in the US or the Telegraph in the UK, they clearly dismiss this. So it makes it very hard to say this is exactly where it started. Um, but again, I'm not going to say that's not true. This could be true, but I don't know if it is the truth. So I'm not going to sit and say, yeah, this is definitely when Black Friday started. According to my research, the dates that people have mentioned that yeah, this is it was during these times in the 1800s that um, slaves were discounted and they used to sell black folk or black people for a discounted price, the dates that people have suggested was actually at a date when slavery was abolished. So it's hard to say. However, it kind of leads me on to a different conversation, which isn't a conversation for now, but I really don't want black people to really latch onto that type of trauma about Black Friday. I really don't want them to kind of go into that because there's other things to focus on.
Mm.
Is what I'm is what I'm gonna say on that one. But yeah, according to my research, um, yeah, it may have happened. And it might have been a thing on certain plantations, but whether it's a thing for most plantations, I have no idea. But yeah, there are very much suggestions of it. And again, the bigger conglomerates deny it, which I'm not surprised either, because it kind of
Yeah,
goes against what people stand for today. So
it's hard.
I guess we just have.
It's always hard to trust those publications because of their history and
Mhm.
their thoughts towards black people in general. So it's always hard to trust these publications and the news they feed you. But yeah, I guess you can only do your own research and then take of it as it is really, and have your own thoughts and opinions on what is right and what is truthful or false, I guess.
Hmm. Hmm. But if that was the case in the past, let's not latch onto that. Let's create a new version of what Black Friday is for you, and let's make that a positive thing for ourselves. Whether you have your own business, this could be a day where you make your most sales, and let's focus on your Black Friday for Black-owned businesses or something along those lines, as opposed to thinking about slavery and things like that, because that's going to be a time we don't need to focus on any losses that we've had in the past. We need to start focusing on victories that we can have now and in the future. So that becomes our new history, and that could be the things that we talk about in the future. You see what I'm saying?
100%. 100%.
Yeah. So yeah, but that was a good way to start off the podcast, to be honest. So yeah, man, big up, Pride of Judah for answering that question. I hope he doesn't feel like neglected because we might not have agreed with him and he might have wanted to have a deeper conversation. But it is what it is, man. We're trying to be positive here. We are trying to be positive. But in terms of you, Jam, like, do you remember your first I guess engagement with Black Friday? Like even just as a consumer as opposed to like work.
As a consumer, it wouldn't be me directly. It would have been I think it's my parents actually. And this is
Mm,
I think it was when the Nintendo Wii started getting a bit of hype, and it was quite scarce in terms of finding, a bit like the PS5 at the moment, finding product that's available in stores or online. But this would have been maybe like 2010, so like 11 years ago. But I think it was that time where my dad bought me and my brother Isaac, who's been on the pod, a Nintendo Wii. But he managed to get like the last one in stock from I think it was the Blockbusters at the time, on
mm,
Black Friday, which is mad. But I think that might be the earliest memory of it. But now, yeah, it's
mm.
it's it's a sport for me now. I enjoy it. Like I probably enjoy Black Friday more than I do the Christmas period, just in terms
Oh
of
really?
trying to grab a bargain and
Mm,
being
mm,
on the hunt. Like up
mm,
the a few months leading up to Black Friday, I won't spend a penny because I know things are going to be discounted. Well, I hope things will be discounted, so I can save a bit of cash here and there.
mm. To be fair, there's a lot
What?
of myths around the prices. Like you mentioned in there that you won't spend your money until like Black Friday appears and there's deals and there's loads of like last minute deals or whatever. But then at the same time, I've worked in retail before. I've seen a few Black Friday deals and how it might work in retail, especially in store, where we just keep the prices the same, but we might increase the regular retail price. So the
Mhm.
RRP price, which makes it seem like there's a bigger discount, but really everything has to stay the same.
There's laws in that around that now. So I think I'm not too sure. It might be a month. So a product has to be set on sale for the price it's showing for a month before it can be discounted. So there's like beforehand, companies would put the price up like a week or a few days before Black Friday and then drop it
Yeah,
down
yeah,
to the
yeah, yeah.
original price. But yeah, laws put in place now to kind of rectify that. Actually, there's
Interesting.
on my old agency, the boss created a tool called Alerter, which is a
Mm,
price tracking tool. So you put in the URL of the product you're looking to buy, you sign up obviously, and the tool will track when the price drops for you and it'll notify you. Um,
mm.
but you also can see the price history. So once that product's been inserted into the tool, you can see the price history throughout the days and weeks and months. So leading up to Black Friday, a lot of our customers through the tool used to do that. They used to see an influx of usage on the tool from about September time, and people
Mm,
could then see the price history and see if they're actually getting a bargain on Black Friday.
mm. Wow, that's a great tool, you know.
That
That's
is.
actually that I need I need something like that now. I need something like that now because there's loads of like flash sales and stuff like that, especially if it was like something like Gymshark or something like that. But that's a great tool. That's a great tool. You know what? For me though, personally, I don't really fuss about Black Friday too tough. It's only once I know that I want something specific. So right now, I'm looking for a new phone, and
Mhm.
I'm contemplating whether I should buy a phone outright or not. So I'm waiting for the deals on Black Friday to see if there's any change in price before I commit to my decision in getting the phone that I want to get. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting on Friday. Hopefully there's a price drop. Um, and then we'll see if I can get if I can get the phone. If it's more worth it for me to buy the phone outright or just get a bundle deal from my network provider.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. But it's interesting. It's interesting that you said that like for you when you were younger, it was like your parents kind of going out. But for me, when I was younger, I never my parents like to me the biggest sales day was like Boxing Day. Like
Mhm.
that was it. And the more I do research in the UK, Black Friday didn't really come into play until 2013,
Mhm.
and it was actually introduced by Asda because Asda's like owned is US owned, right? So for those who don't know, Asda in the UK is a supermarket, which is owned by Walmart, which is a massive supermarket in the US. And they basically brought Black Friday over to the UK, where they just did some huge deals in 2013. And then that was when we saw the manic. That was when, in the height of obviously social media, and we saw people kind of running into stores, stealing trolleys and stuff to try and get TVs, and people fighting over TVs that were like half price or 70% off or whatever it might be. And it was just complete manic. Again, at that time, I didn't know anything about it, but if you were a bargain hunter, you would have probably been there trying to get deals for whatever it was, or trying to get deals for like Christmas shopping and things like that. But yeah, that was never me, man.
Yeah, I remember seeing especially early days, seeing that, just watching the news and seeing the manic of, like you said, people running out with TVs and barging past people. It looked savage. It looked savage. But luckily nowadays, I'm not too sure, what it's like now. I'm not sure if there's that same hype within stores because everything's online and it's easy to kind of grab your deal as quick as possible. So yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah,
interesting to
yeah.
see what things are like in stores now.
I think in the UK it's more of like a Black November than it is like Black Friday. Like yeah,
Mm,
like it's like the whole month there's sales, but then once you get to the Friday, it might drop a little bit more. Do you know what I mean?
mm.
But people do try to start their sales early. I don't know if it's just the way thing, just the culture here in the UK. But I do want to take it back a little bit because we touched on, some people's opinions on how Black Friday started, but we haven't kind of gone into all the different variations that I've heard of. Have you heard of any?
No, like I said, I've not really had time to do the research, but the only one I did hear of was of the slavery and selling off. black people at a discounted price. So yeah,
Mm.
interested to kind of hear a bit more about the other theories.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So the one that I knew, I heard about quite a few years ago, to be honest, was like Black Friday wasn't first kind of associated with the retail market and kind of consumer market. It was more associated with the financial market. So basically, I think it was in I don't know when it was actually. I believe it was like 1960. It might have been 1868. Um, don't quote me on that. Yeah, 1869. There we go. 1869. There was a crash of the U.S. gold market. Um, I'm assuming this is like during the gold rush where loads of people started moving over to California to kind of get gold, because gold was the new in thing and everything like that. And when people got over there, there wasn't much gold, so the price of gold actually ended up falling, because I don't actually know why, but the overall price of gold fell and it crashed, right? And when that happens, they call that day when something crashes black and whatever the day it is. So that would be, if it was a Monday, it'll be Black Monday. If it was a Tuesday, it'd be Black Monday. Do you know what I mean? So there's been
Mm.
so many different Wall Street crashes in the past, and whatever day it is that happens, like they'll call that day black and whatever day it is. And I
Okay.
guess essentially that's what it that's kind of like the birth of the name of Black Friday. But
Mm.
then it quickly kind of started to become associated in other, I guess, instances or ever, like into shopping basically. But even before that, the one that I heard of the most was when this used to be the time where I guess businesses would sell the most leading up towards Christmas. So it would be just after Thanksgiving where most people would make their purchases, and businesses would go from being in, I guess, in minus, in debt, and then kind of go into profit. So they'd be making a loss, and then they would go into profit after their sales just after Thanksgiving. So,
Okay.
and then that's when it would be. So basically, businesses would go from red into black, and it would be on that Friday. So Thanksgiving is being on a Thursday, and then on that Friday, all the businesses kind of would go into black, and then that kind of turned into like basically Black Friday. But again, that's two different stories, but it's kind of it gets adopted and spread around. So obviously, with America being so big, like this could have started in different states. Like I
Hmm.
know in Philadelphia, apparently there used to be like a really big American football match on the Friday after Thanksgiving, and it was like everybody's going to watch this game. So police officers couldn't take it off if you were a fireman or you worked in a fire brigade. You couldn't take that day off because everybody's trying to go and watch this um, Army American football match, and they used to call that day Black Friday. So it was just hectic and
Okay.
manic. And then
Mm.
this kind of transitioned, and then obviously it comes like it kind of just spreads. So all these people are using Black Friday, and it was always associated with kind of like Thanksgiving and the start of the Christmas season when people start buying things towards like for Christmas and things like that. So yeah, I think that's kind of where we see like the birth of Black Friday. But it's completely changed today, right? Because remember that
Yeah.
being a US thing, it's now been spread kind of probably around the world. And with the likes of Asda over here in the UK bringing it in, and the likes of Amazon bringing it in as well, that's where it kind of becomes more popular because well, I don't say everybody shops at Amazon, but Amazon has a wide range of users. Asda's super well known, so it just starts spreading from there, and then start seeing other businesses cropping up, and then obviously with technology being involved, they wanna they want like a consumer holiday as well. So the Monday after you have the Cyber Monday, where there's more deals on, I guess, online on websites and things like that. where the traditional store. So like at first, Black Friday was for you to kind of go in store and you'll get a lot of foot traffic to your store because everybody's looking for a deal. And then on Monday, it would be okay, if you do online shopping, this is when we'll do it. But now, I don't want to say like high street retailers are dying, but there's nowhere near as many as there used to be. And
Hmm.
do you know what I mean? So the transition is kind of merging into one. So that whole weekend is basically like Black Friday. And then over
Hmm.
here in the UK, it's basically Black November because deals will start running in and you can get some pretty good deals coming in.
Yeah, it's for like for a consumer. I guess why if they've started brands have started doing their Black Friday deals earlier is simply because if a consumer, average consumer might earn £1,800 a month and they've got maybe £200 disposable income, they kind of want to get there
Mm,
first so they can get a slice of that, get a slice of the market share before they think about spending money elsewhere. That's kind of why you see Amazon
mm,
start their Black Friday deals early, the likes of Currys, because they want to get in as early as possible, especially if their products are high value products. You kind of want to get in there before your consumers have already spent their money elsewhere.
yeah, it's true.
Especially, yeah, you see a lot of small businesses taking that approach because they want to
Mm,
get in there before they start spending money with the bigger businesses. So that's
yeah,
interesting to
yeah,
see the strategies behind it, especially now being brand side and understanding like the different approaches. And sometimes that doesn't work. Like I know brands that have started to do their Black Friday deals early, and they've just not
yeah.
had the uptake they would have if they condensed over, for example, this weekend. So yeah, I
Mm.
guess it's just trial and error for brands and figuring out
Yeah,
what works.
very much so, man. Like, just in the history of what I've been doing in social media and just kind of online marketing, Black Friday with two of my previous companies that I worked for, that used to be the biggest day of the year that we would sell advertising. So it was very hard for people to get advertising. Everybody wanted to make sure they had an advert out on that weekend. So if we were selling advertising space, the price of the advertising space would literally triple, even quadruple, even go 5 times up sometimes
Hmm.
in price, just to be able to kind of advertise at the right time and in front of the right user. So everybody's fighting for eyeballs. Do you know what I mean? And especially with the likes of Amazon, so many huge brands, like especially like technology brands like speakers, headphones, consoles, all these types of people always, like, all these types of brands always trying to fight for some kind of market share on Black Friday, so they are aware, and obviously it's a good time, bundle deals for like PlayStation 5 or something with FIFA or whatever, for Christmases, for like people to buy, "Oh, I'm gonna get this for my son or whatever." You know what I mean? So they might not traditionally buy it in August or whatever because they haven't got the income. But if discount it by like 30%, throw in a game and a control pad, more people are allowed to buy it and you'll sell more units. So
Definitely.
yeah, it is you have to be careful though, because I think it really depends like on who you are. I got an article here where I see that Adobe, that's where they on Black Fridays when they see the most uptick in software sales. So whether it be Photoshop, whether it be Adobe Spark or any of their kind of software programs that they have, Illustrator and things like that, it's on Black Friday where they sell the most subscriptions to their software, and whatever it is that they do, if they're doing it right. And normally when it comes to software, I can't lie, that's when you see the cheapest subscriptions. Jeez, I don't know
Hmm.
if you've been looking around, but that's when I see the cheapest subscriptions. Like a big shout out to the Athletic in the UK. So the Athletic is like a online news sports media company, and they cover like every single football team in the UK. They also do other sports as well, and they normally charge like it could be like £3-4 a month or something like that. But when they do their Black Friday sales, they charge like it'd be like £1 a month for 12 months. and it's like, oh, that's amazing. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And like, yeah, because I like their articles that they do. They're really in depth, and
Yeah,
everything has a
shout out to
pay.
them.
Everything
Because
has a
yeah, I remember.
paywall for them. Yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say, I remember when they first jumped on the scene, and I was a bit like, "Ooh, this is a bit unheard of to see like a journalist site kind of independently make their way through social
Mm,
media." I guess that was their way in, and they've done
yeah,
it well.
yeah,
Like they've managed to take a lot of top journalists away from some of the bigger companies like Sky and BBC. David Ornstein being one like the first one that comes to my head, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're now the go-to place for transfer news and exclusive content, which is good to see.
Mm. Yeah, no, a big shout out to them, man. I subscribed to them last year. It was at £1 a month. I was like, this is great. Conversations that they have on there are really, really good and in depth. And obviously, if you're into your sports, whether it be football, rugby, basketball, baseball, whatever it might be, you can really get some good articles on there. Like, and it kind of feels without an agenda, if you know what I mean. Like you might have with some of the bigger conglomerates, they're always trying to sell a story where this doesn't feel like that. This is feels like it's more for the journalists who like actually appreciate their writing and like writing in a certain style. So yeah, big shout out to the Athletic, man. But yeah, it's good to see that, you know, I'm sure they get a big huge uptick around now when it comes to subscribers than any other time of the year, because when I see, I know it goes up to like 12.99 a month, but I'm not willing to pay. I'm not willing to pay that. But when I see £1 a month, and I've seen the 12.99 a month, maybe like at like July or something, it's like that makes me feel like that's a huge discount.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? So once I see that, I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, man, it is, yeah, big shout out to them. Um, is there any, so in terms of like strategies and things like that, is there anything you want to share around like a good uh, Black Friday strategy? Is Treats by T running any Black Friday ads or anything like that?
So yeah, she's not running any ads, but she's got a discount planned. It's tough for small businesses because for them to run ads and cut through
Hmm.
and drive decent traffic, it is tough on Black Friday to do so because, like you said, the cost to advertise just increases tenfold. So yeah, her strategy is not gonna be to do ads. It'll just be to her existing audience and trying to drive
Mm.
sales that way. But in terms of like campaigns that have stuck out for me this year, the main one is a brand called Represent Clothing. I think they're based up in Manchester.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
think it might be a week ago they announced that their warehouse was it was broken into, and they recorded CCTV footage of the break-in, and they asked people to
Okay.
share it and so and so. And yeah,
Yeah.
it went viral. Like the video after 3 days had maybe like 200,000 views, all
I
organically.
saw that.
Yeah,
That was sick.
yeah,
That
you
was
saw it.
sick. 'Cause that,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that was the one with the grannies at the at the
Yeah,
end,
I
and
posted it on my
she got to the
story.
camera.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was sick. That was
Yeah,
actually a good thing.
it was sick. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think their Instagram accounts got it must have grown by like 100K simply because
Mm,
of that video, which is insane. Which kind of shows the
mm,
power of a good marketing campaign, well, social marketing
mm,
campaign. But yeah, that's the main one that sticks out to me. And since then, they've just been dropping a few hints and a few gems of what's coming within the Black Friday sale. They've announced that it was actually a fake break-in, which has got a few people. It got me at first. I can't lie. I looked at it. I was like, no. So I was gonna I planned to buy a few things from there. And I was like, no, they've been broken in. I'm not gonna bother about Black Friday now. But yeah, they definitely
mm.
got me in it, and it worked, man. It was a powerful move by them, and
That didn't that didn't even get me. When I saw that, yeah, it made me laugh because it was the grammar at the end, and I was like, okay, I didn't know
yeah,
that. You know what I mean? Like I was like, okay, all right,
yeah,
it's a joke. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
no, it's good. I think for small businesses, it's a great chance for them to be creative. I'm not going to sit here and say, you know what, every small business should run a discount for Black Friday, because I don't think you should, because depending on how you hold yourself, you're not going to be seeing any ads for Rolls Royce Black Friday. Do
Mhm.
you know what I mean? That's not what they do. So I think when it comes to Black Friday, you have to really understand your brand positioning and your brand identity before kind of running out and pushing out any kind of advertising or marketing around your brand. I don't think you should just go around, especially if you're a small business. I don't know if the best thing for you to do is to just go and slash your prices and it cuts into your
Mhm.
profits. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. You're here at the end of the day, you're trying to transition from a small business to probably a profitable business. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, I know a lot of us are just starting out, so you need to make sure that at the end of the day, you're able to stay in the black, right? So you want to
Mhm.
make sure that you are, making profit at the end of the day, and just slashing your profits and just to make sales. I don't know if that's the best thing to do.
Mhm.
Obviously, the likes of Adobe, they can do that, but they also know that once they get you in as a subscriber or anything, they can start upselling to you with other products, and they'll have the processes and the ecosystem in place to kind of keep upselling and trying to keep that user for like a lifetime user. So you have to think of all those different things. You can't just you're not trying to slash your prices just to make one sell. It's not. That doesn't make sense. If you're going to cut your prices, it's because you're trying to bring a user in where price might be the barrier, and from there you want to keep them being an active purchaser of your brand or active supporter of your brand for a lifetime, if possible. For as many years as possible. And I think you have to really think of it in that way, in order for a campaign to be really successful. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, I was gonna add that. I was gonna add that to what you just said, because yeah, for small businesses, it is tough because like you said, some businesses might just have to hold their ground, and kind of ride the wave of Black Friday and wait for that to die down because they don't want it to impact the perception of the business. But then for others, it's like you said, if the price point is an issue, it's a great way to get customers in and kind of show them what your brand is about, what your business is about, and show them the best expression of your product so you can hopefully keep them a customer for longer. So yeah, it can go either way. It's just having a strategy for it rather than just slashing prices. Like think, okay, if I'm gonna slash prices, what else can I offer? Can I offer a bit more value? It might cost more, but it it might mean that you can keep customers for longer or retain a new audience that you might not have been able to retain before.
Mm, mm, No, you said it so clearly there, man. You're dropping some gems on them for real because, um, yeah, I think you're probably going to see it over the weekend. You're probably going to see some terrible, terrible marketing approaches to Black Friday from small businesses, and it's going to be painful to watch. But again, you can contact myself or Jamel, to be honest, if you do want some advice on that. Um, because yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of businesses out there that's just trying to make a buck, but they don't realize how damaging it's probably being to their identity. Um, so yeah, you have to really think about what you're doing, and especially if you don't know what you're doing, you need to seek their advice. I think
Mhm.
minimum, just so, like talk to someone who knows, and then they might be able to help you position something in a way that's not harmful for your brand and can actually uplift your brand. And I think that the word here is you're looking for an uplift, and with that, that's where you're gonna find, I guess, future success with your brand, because otherwise it could be just detrimental to how people perceive you.
Mm.
So
Definitely.
yeah, man. Are you looking at like any specific deals there? Are there any campaigns out there that you've seen that you as a consumer might want to be a part of?
So for me, it's weird because in the day, all I've been doing for the last few weeks, it's been about Black Friday. In the
Mm,
evenings, I try to stay off my phone, so I'm not, yeah, I've not really tried to consume too many other brands strategies. We've got tools. So after Black Friday, we get a list of our competitors and their activity just to compare how we've done really. But yeah, main one for me has just been represents, and obviously you got the likes of Amazon and Curry that always go big on Black Friday and seem to kind of take over the market space in terms of advertisement. So even like with TV ads, all I ever see at the moment is Curry's TV ads and Amazon. They kind of set their budget aside for this time and said, you know what, forget all our competitors, we're just gonna outbid them in every single space, and yeah, they won't get a chance. But
It makes sense because they're probably gonna make the most money here. Like especially when it
yeah,
comes to technology, man. Like everyone's buying like I know whenever I needed a new TV, my TV could break in April. I'm waiting till Black Friday to get my TV because I
mm,
know you
yeah,
know prices just get cut sometimes, and
mm,
it's like they stock up for this period. So yeah, I always wait for this period. So right now, waiting for a new phone, I'm waiting for the Google Pixel Pro to go down in price. So if anyone does know where I can get a discount on the Google Pixel Pro, give me a shout. Because yeah, I'm waiting for Google. They've been announcing they did this thing. I've even signed up to like their I'm on their email list or something like that, and to check out when the prices will drop. And they like keep sending all these emails like, yeah, 3 days before Black Friday, it's gonna drop, blah 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 blah. And it's like 3 days to go, blah 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 blah. And it's like they said it was like last week they sent me an email saying, oh, this week we're gonna see a drop in prices. But it's never the product that you want. It's like
mm,
the Google Nest and the Google like dongle and doorbell and all this other stuff, right? And I'm just waiting for the Pixel to just drop in price. Obviously, it's just been released, but yeah, I'm waiting for that to drop in price, and I'm gonna be all over that for sure. Um, and I don't think there's anything else really. I might look out for a couple of toys and stuff like that
mm,
for for Christmas. But other than that, like I'm not really fussed. And in the UK they do a lot of price matching. So if something was sold on Black Friday at a discounted price and you bought it like 14 days prior at a higher price, they can give you your money. They can give you some money back on the product that you bought at a higher price. So even if you did buy something and then that went down in price, you could still get your money back, so you won't feel like you've missed out on the sale. So
mm,
that's also another thing that's quite good. So yeah,
To
do you ever?
touch on price as well, I was just gonna say to touch on price. Normally, when you see these up to 50% up to 70% off, the product that has the most discount is product that's not selling. So definitely be mindful of that.
Yeah, that's so
Like
true.
when you see those big discounts, be mindful that it might not be as the quality you're looking for or what you're actually after. But
Mm,
then yeah, it depends. It depends because sometimes it might be style led or trend led, and if a certain style isn't selling, but it's a style that you wear or you like, yeah,
mm.
you've won because yeah, you can grab yourself a bargain. But sometimes it's the higher the discount, the worse the product. So yeah,
Yeah, the words that
definitely
yeah
keep an eye.
those yeah those products are definitely not moving. Imagine like
Mm,
90% off these all white trainers, and it's like no one ain't wearing these.
yeah, which is mad
But
because
yeah,
people fall for it though, and just because there's discount, people will buy it.
yeah. No, it's true actually. It's true. And people are so easily led into this discount life where they see a discount on something and then they feel like they're saving money. And that to me has
Mm,
been the most baffling thing ever. Like you'll see something and it's like 50% off. And then people spend, let's say it was like 50% off, it cost £700. Um, they bought it for £350, and then they'll be like, I just saved £350. And I'm like, no, you just
no,
spent
you did,
three
yeah,
hundred and
you did.
fifty pounds.
Especially if they like more time they don't want it in the first place, so they don't think
Yeah,
about it. They just see the discount and think, right, I'm buying it, I'm saving money. but you still, like you
Yeah.
said, you just spent £350 you
It
didn't need to
just
spend.
exactly. I think it's the most mind-boggling thing, and this is probably another a podcast episode, but it just shows the power of advertising. Like it
Mm,
literally is almost brainwashing. Like, obviously I'm so super grateful that I work within this industry, but I see the pros and cons of it. Like people literally get swayed, and then they make a decision. It literally controls people's behavior, and then that kind of goes into ethical questions, right? Like,
mm,
is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Are we managing how people think now? Um, I'm just so unsure. But I also understand the power of marketing because if you want to push a product out there, you do need to be able to persuade and sell the product,
mm,
So yeah, it's a hard one.
yeah.
Like it pulls on me differently just because I know the pros and I know the cons. But it's something that I'm also obviously passionate about at the same time. So
Mm,
yeah, it's hard, man. It's very confusing. I know there's a lack of, I got a lack of vocabulary for this. I don't know. There's a word that means where like it's conflicting within in your interests at the same time as you
mm,
enjoy it. But I don't know what that word is right now. But yeah, it's what it is. Maybe I'm
yeah.
still just hungover from the wedding last night. So it is.
Yeah,
You know
potentially,
what I
potentially.
mean?
Mm.
So yeah, man. I was gonna say to you, so with Black Friday and Superdry, so is everything in place? Like, how long would you say it's taken to prepare for the campaigns that you have running or about to run?
Ooh, it depends. In terms of what I do directly, maybe 2 weeks. But in terms of like the business's approach to Black Friday, this is probably set out in September.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a lot. It's a long time in terms of the strategy. Obviously, we're online and our retail presence is big. What we do with both avenues of traffic and sales. And
Mm,
then we have to check stock, checking we've got the right amount of stock, how sales are doing in different territories, the discounts in different territories. And then there's the legality as well in terms of I think France are quite strict with their sales. Like I think don't quote me on this, but I think an item can't be on sale for longer than 2 weeks or something like that. Or it can't be
mm.
advertised to be on sale for longer than 2 weeks. So it's making sure like your legal team are involved in every step of the way. So you're not like it's a time to make money, not cost you money. So you have to make
Yeah,
sure like all your ducks are in a row a bit there. Um,
interesting.
yeah, there's so many things to consider that I didn't know going into this Black Friday this year. So yeah, it's been an eye opener definitely. But
Mm, mm.
yeah, it's taken a long time. It's a long process to get for 4 days.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. But you know what? If this is the time where your business at Superdry, that's where they make a lot of themselves. They have to be a part of that conversation. They need to be
Mhm.
in front of those eyes, especially when they have like a lot of I guess I don't want to say brand activations, but um they might have certain items that they want to push in front of customers that might not be selling and things like that. It's a great way to kind of get rid of those items so they
Yeah.
can make way for new items that they might need for the next season and so on and so forth. So yeah, no, man, it's good. It is really,
Mm.
really,
It's
really,
also,
really good.
as I said before, that can also be damaging because the product that gets discounted more time is product that might not be selling or might not be as popular. So
Mm,
if at the moment Superdry are trying to change their brand perception, and then if we're putting loads of budget behind on discounted goods that aren't best expression of the brand, it kind of goes against the mission that we're trying to achieve in terms of changing that brand perception. But then if we're pushing product that people think is the typical Superdry product, it kind of makes our job harder in the future to change that back and
mm,
yeah, kind of convert those customers again. So yeah, it is difficult, and that's something that I've been privy to, like just those conversations in terms of the strategy we take. But again, it's interesting. It's interesting to just be kind of a fly on the wall in these conversations and understand why we do certain things and why we don't do certain things.
mm, mm. No, it's good. It's good. And is there at the moment, would you say this has been the biggest exposure to like a Black Friday lead up that you've ever had?
Definitely, yeah. I've not been brand side before. I normally, when I was agency side, we get a brief come in 2 weeks before. Like the thought process and the strategy has already been thought up, and we kind of just deliver this brief and told to execute it, rather than being brand side and you're part of the thought process. And
Mm,
yeah, you're part of the talks that happened in September to lead up to this Black Friday period. So yeah, it's definitely the most exposure.
mm,
And
mm.
you definitely feel the pressure. It's like the Champions League final for brands. Black Friday.
Yeah, no,
Head on the moon,
definitely.
everyone's stretching off, wiping their brow, making sure they're ready for this 4 day period. And yeah, if it
You know
doesn't
what it
go well at
is?
first, what's
Go
that?
on.
I was just gonna say, if it doesn't, if you don't start off to a banger, you start.
Mm.
That's when the sweat start coming in,
Sweat,
and you
the
start
sweat
thinking,
coming in,
yeah,
yeah. No, no sales, no nothing's coming
yeah,
up. My Shopify is not popping off. What's going on?
mm,
You know
mm,
what I mean? It's so true. It's so true. You know what? It's times like this where I wish I was. Let me say I wish I was because this is definitely on my journey. Um, but it's like you, when you're in a, I guess in a far, I want to say a fast lane business, and what I mean by that is when you're in a business that doesn't have any limitations in terms of its scalability. I feel like if you own a business that's like this, so like a distribution company, like let's say you were a distribution company and let's say it was in alcohol or something, and then there's like all these different bars or okay, let me not say Black Friday, but like it could be a sale or like let's say coming up to New Year's, Christmas and New Year's, your alcohol distributor, most pubs are purchasing their alcohol right now. So you got a no limitation in terms of how much alcohol that you can sell. Do you know what I mean? As long as you have the connections into those businesses, let's say like on a August in August you might sell only 10,000 units, but as soon as it gets to
mm,
December, November, you could probably sell 10,000 units in one day. So businesses
mm,
like Amazon, they are like that's like a that's got no limitation in terms of how much they can sell in one day. They've got all the processes in place to be able to sell almost like an unlimited amount without you having to do extra work. Do you see what I'm saying?
mm,
So like that to me is when you have a fast lane business. And I feel like this is something that I'm also trying to work on for my agency at the moment, as opposed to just like because it can kind of feel like I own an ice cream van and then I'm working on it all day. But then how
mm.
do I scale? How do I scale? I need like 10 ice cream brands, but I can't be the person working on it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
then I got the distribution in place where I'm making a portion of every ice cream that's being sold, as opposed to me working like I'm not trading in my time. Do you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So like that's how like you'll see like your Jeff Bezos. That's how these guys make millions, and it's probably a faster way to make money than it is than you starting just your own business. You need to probably take a business that's already there and adapt it into something a bit more fast lane and make the process a little bit automated. This is why when I was saying earlier, when it comes to Black Friday, if you do have a small business, you have to realize that the bigger businesses, when they are making loads of sales, they have an ecosystem that a user goes into. So there's a user journey. So
Mm,
if you've gone and bought something on Black Friday, like me, for example, I bought like my subscription to the Athletic. No, don't worry. The Athletic have not sponsored this this podcast episode, but if I have bought a subscription to the Athletic are gonna class me as like a Black Friday user. They're gonna categorize me as one type of audience, and they're gonna try and convert me from a £1 purchase buyer to maybe one that spends £3. Do you see what I'm saying? So they want me to
mm,
kind of stay within their ecosystem and buy other things. They might do exclusive content, and you pay £5 to watch this video or exclusive interview or whatever it might be. They're gonna understand that. The same with Adobe. they want you to start purchasing some of their other content or other software and things like that. So you really have to think on a bigger level and think about processes and automation. You can't just think about the single action. That single action is a consequence of a chain of different actions. Like I
Mhm.
didn't just buy the athletic, I didn't just purchase the athletic because I saw one ad. I may have seen 10 ads. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And they would have known that. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's when they know there's a that's when the conversion comes. So they would see, okay, Jules has to see 10 ads before he makes a purchase. So they would probably set out a 10 stage ad process or maybe a 5 stage, let's say. One where it's like a video, the next one where it's like a second stage, it's like it might just be like a simple image, so I'm constantly seeing this offer in different formats. So I might see it.
Agree.
Pardon?
A great example of that is Gymshark at the moment. I'm not sure if
Okay,
people
yeah.
know, but if you go onto Facebook's ad library, so you just type in Google Facebook ad library, you can search what brand activity, what brands are doing in terms of advertising on Facebook and Instagram. So if you
Hmm.
just type in Gymshark, you can see that activity, and like you said, there might be something silly like 15 ads, all in different formats, different content types, different approaches to the content just to convert that user. I know they're at different stages of the funnel as well. So it's
Yeah.
interesting to see what a brand like Gymshark, who kind of own it digitally, do in terms of trying to get people down that marketing funnel.
Hmm. Hmm. And this is some big gems because I think as a consumer, you won't never actually know this. You don't actually understand that you're probably a cog in this funnel. You don't know where you are in this funnel. You're
Mm,
just thinking, I just want to buy something for Black Friday, but in reality, they know they know your behavior, so they know that you might need to see a certain amount of ads in different formats before you can make a purchase. And this is all done again
mhm,
via cookies. Facebook have their own thing. I love Facebook ad library. It's a great place for me when it comes to pushing ideas and content for um what's it called, for any new clients that I may have and things like that. You get to see kind of what other competitors are doing, what's their messaging, what formats have they got, and you can look at it and kind of formulate a funnel that they're probably using. So I think and I love that kind of transparency that you have
mm.
on Facebook's ad library. So yeah, no, it's really good. Again, I want to thank all the listeners that have been listening. I've seen the listener numbers kind of go up and down. If you have just joined us, this episode is called Do You Know the History of Black Friday? We have already discussed kind of the origins of Black Friday. We kind of debunked some of the myths around where it started. It may have some slave connotations. We're not going to discredit that because I think that there may be some truth in that. Um, and we already know that some of the bigger conglomerates are not going to admit that that was the case. But overall, what we do know is that it was used in financial terms, with a lot of businesses kind of going from red to black just after Thanksgiving, with Thanksgiving sales, and this was the time where actually businesses started to turn a profit towards the end of the year. This is why this part of the year is called Q4, and Q4 is always the biggest year in terms of accounting, especially when you work within retail. This is where you make your most money, you know.
Hmm.
So that's just a quick overview in terms of what we've been speaking about, and now we kind of been just kind of going behind the I guess going into detail in terms of what certain Black Friday campaigns look like and where you as a consumer might fit in when it comes to some of these campaigns. So yeah, and obviously Jamal mentioned some good campaigns that he's been seeing at the moment. So yeah, man. Yeah, I feel like what this this episode has been quite insightful in terms of like Black Friday. I think not a lot, not many people actually understand the origins or the background of Black Friday.
Hmm.
but now they would, and hopefully it gives people a better insight, whether you're a consumer or whether you're a small business owner, kind of how to approach it. Do you know what I mean? Because
Definitely.
if you're a small business owner, there's so many things that you can do, and probably things that you shouldn't do as well. And as a consumer, don't feel obliged that you just need to just go out and just spend money, because as Jamal said, sometimes the things that have the biggest discounts are not the most valuable things, and it's the things that kind of are just not in demand. But yeah, like obviously a business owner is not going to tell you that. So yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
man.
definitely dropped gems within the podcast, and it's been a good one. Even myself, I didn't know too
Mm,
much about the origins of Black Friday. I've kind of just lived in it and been part of
mm,
it each year. So it's always good to understand where it's come from and the history of it. It kind of helps shape what you think of Black Friday if you're a consumer or if you're a marketer or a business owner or something like that. Just how you approach Black Friday. So yeah,
mm.
no, it's been a good episode. I've liked this one.
Yeah, yeah, man. Me too, man. It's been good. I
Mm.
enjoyed it. I'm happy to wrap it up there. Unless you got anything else to add, Jam. But yeah, it was a great episode, and until next week.
Yeah, we'll have to shout out our Black Friday purchases if we've made any next
Yeah.
week, just to link it back. But yeah, until next week.
Until next week, man. Peace out.